award-winning Tennessee Wildcast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee Wildcast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching, for listening. We got a fun show lined up for you today. It's all about fishing, Don.
Yes. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the programs that we put out there and try to share with folks on learning to fish.
Yeah, that's right. We got the expert with us in the house today.
Yeah, Mr. David Lowrie is with us, and he's going to walk us through some of the programs that he puts on and in partnership with other organizations and with our guys here at the agency, guys and gals. And we're also going to find out ways to get groups involved and just kind of learn a little bit about what goes on at these events. So, David, we appreciate you being with us. Don, do you want to highlight a radio station?
You betcha. I'm going to go to Athens, Tennessee today. WJSQ. Shout out to them, and thanks very much on 101.7 FM in Athens. And, you know, they run the Wildcast extra every morning at 6 a.m. And 6 a.m. on Saturdays, they run the full Wildcast show. So shout out to them. We really appreciate them, as well as our other radio partners.
Yeah, that's awesome. We appreciate our partners out there. We appreciate everyone who tunes us in. Radio stations, the app for your favorite podcasting app, find us there or watch us if you want to on YouTube. And
that's right.
Facebook.
It all counts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it all counts. Anyway, all right, well, let's jump in. David, thank you for being with us.
What's going on, guys? Everybody doing well?
Yeah, doing great.
Everybody have a big holiday weekend?
Yeah, it's been a good one. We did that, and now it's back to work.
Back to work, yeah. Stuff to do. It's double work for me because it's also start of high school fishing in the fall, and we've got tournament Saturday at Watts Bar, and my phone has been nonstop.
Yeah.
We're looking at about over 250 boats already for that, and running that through Tennessee Bass Nation in my volunteer work. Mm-hmm. So and I still credit that for helping open the door to get me here to where I actually got a job in the outdoors after all them years of social work.
Yeah, there you go.
So
yeah, it's if you don't know, David is this is his primary gig here at the agency, but he also volunteers and helps with that Tennessee Bass Nation, getting those kids out there fishing, those high schoolers, and chasing those fish and winning those tournaments.
So and out of those 250 boats, it's like two students, fishermen per boat, plus the adult that is there with them as well.
Yeah, the adult drives the boat. They coach, they manage safety, all those things. And, of course, they can coach them all day long. Guys, it's time to change to a spinner bait and go up shallow or whatever. I mean, they can do that. And, of course, those two kids are fishing just like the pros do. They're trying to get the biggest sack of 5 fish for the day and place high or win the tournament, win scholarship money or win a chance to go to the Bassmaster Nationals. Just did that about a month or so ago over in South Carolina. We had 52 Tennessee boats in that, and more than any other state.
Wow, that's great.
We finished. We had 3 boats make it to the top 12 for the last day, and we finished 4th, 5th, and 6th in the nation with those 3 boats.
Wow!
And those kids pulled in some good scholarship offers and things like that.
Awesome.
So it's pretty cool.
Not only is David out there showing folks around Tennessee how to fish in these little small ponds, but he's also getting those kids out there to chase those tournaments. Those are fun. That's cool. If you want to get involved with that, how would somebody get in touch with you if a school wants to get involved or kids?
Well, I mean, they can do. Well, we've done it through here as well. We don't care whether you get in touch with me via Tennessee Bass Nation or TWRA. The ask email here always works, and Tennessee Bass Nation, we have a Facebook page that's facebook.com/TBN Youth.
Okay.
TBN Youth, Tennessee Bass Nation Youth. You can contact us through there, me and my other regional directors, because, there's a whole lot of people it takes to put that thing on.
Sure. I can imagine.
And so we've got regions that region trails and the statewide trail and directors and all, but we all jump in there to answer and help. And we have all been very, very busy the last 2 weeks because, Bassmaster's management system for it all changes over on September the 1st, so that everybody has to go into the system and redo their roster for the national program because we're governed under them. And then they have to do the stuff for the state. So it's like, wait, which form? What? So, and we're used to it. It's no big deal. We've got new teams that don't know anything, new coaches that don't know anything, so we're walking them through. And it's the crazy busy time of year for Tennessee Bass Nation because it's that way. I mean, we got some seasoned veterans that make life easy, but the new folks, we gotta work with them and get them where they got to be.
Yeah.
So it's going to be crazy. If you want to see, this won't be on before that, but you can check. We've got another page that's tnhsbasstrail.com. That's the state page. It has all the schedules. Come out and watch a weigh-in. I mean, you see those kids weighing in fish and doing well. Their fish bumping in the air and all that stuff, and they get as excited as those pros do, and they walk away with scholarship money.
Yeah, winning those scholarships.
They and the scholarship money they win through the trail is theirs to use anywhere. Now, some of these scholarships they get in the bigger events, it's like, okay, this is a scholarship, but it's only good if you go to Bethel, or it's only good if you go to Carson Newman or wherever. Our scholarship dollars goes to their bank account for them to put up to use anywhere.
That's cool.
We don't care if it's Nashville Auto Diesel College or UT Knoxville.
Just further education.
Any education.
Yeah.
I mean, Love's Beauty School has got scholarship money from us.
All right.
We don't care.
Yeah.
We want them to advance their life and do well with it. But, we talked about how being involved in that got me kind of noticed and got me the opportunity to apply here. And I've been here since January of 2020. And, of course, it was really weird to come in the last week of January, and then the second week in March, the whole world shuts down.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But we had started this program, Fishing 101. We got the grant, and we got that trailer, that first catch trailer, and it is full of basic rod and reels, spin casters or button rods, as a lot of people call them.
Push button Zebcos.
Exactly, a whole lot of Zebcos, and of course, we're not necessarily promoting one brand or another, but Zebco's pretty good for that type. And so we've got a whole lot of that: hooks, floats, worms. It's not complicated. We don't have a lot of artificial bait because the concept of the program is to teach people that don't know anything at all.
Right.
They've never been fishing. So, the whole world shuts down March the 12th, March the 13th. And then we're on the phones back and forth, we're at home. And then we're trying to figure out what to do. And it's like, well, let's go do them anyway because the governor said the outdoors were still open.
The outdoors is open.
So we started scheduling those events, and we targeted the municipal ponds. We targeted here in Nashville up at Cedar Hill Park. We targeted down in Chattanooga area, actually East Ridge, Camp Jordan. We went to Maryville. We went out towards Memphis. And we're targeting those municipal areas because, as the numbers get pulled, I don't know how long ago they started checking the demographics of TWRA licenses. But when you do the demographics and you see what's what, we do better in rural areas than we do in metro, but metro areas have more population.
Right.
But it's still the percentages are lower. We have one demographic that we're very, very strong in: white males. You get to anything beyond that, and the numbers go down. And it's like we're not properly serving the public. We've got to do better. And we even have categories of white males that, like from 18 to towards 30, we lose a lot of those guys because they're going to college, they starting work, they're starting families. I don't have time. We don't want them to think that.
That's right. Yeah.
That's not a good thing to think.
It's always time to fish.
The only bad day fishing is the day you don't go.
Exactly.
We're trying to target those folks, but we're trying to target areas that have broad demographics.
New audiences. Yeah, those folks who will enjoy getting out there and fishing if they just give it a try.
Well, this is a state agency. It's state dollars. It's here for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Doesn't matter if you're old, poor, rich, male, female, whatever, anything. We don't care.
Yep.
We want you to know we're here to serve you.
And especially those municipal opportunities. You know, they're close to home. You can go out there, take a break from what you're doing, go do that for a couple hours. You know, compare that to playing golf. You got to pretty much wipe your day out for golf.
Right.
You know, it's like 6-7 hours.
You can take your hour lunch break and fish for a little bit.
Exactly.
And get back to work.
Right.
So, so we started going to the parks, and we started advertising on Facebook and on Nextdoor and the different things. And with the whole world shut down, where all the kids' spring ball games were canceled, the movie theaters were shut down.
Yep.
People didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're seeing online, hey, come go fishing. And we had good crowds at these pop-in events. We had very good crowds. We had such good crowds that I was drawing in my high school kids to come and be coaches and mentors.
Volunteers, yeah.
Because we go to Cedar Hill and all of a sudden there's 30, 40 people there. We want to learn how to fish. And our old boss, Mike, was with me a lot, and it's like two of us trying to I got to have my kids.
Yeah.
So my kids would start coming, and they'd wear their jerseys, and they're going around the lake mentoring young, old, and in between.
Uh-huh.
And I promise you, my Tennessee Bass Nation kids got as much out of it as the people learning to fish.
I bet so.
You'll see there's one particular, actually two pictures, with one of the kids from Gallatin and this lady up here at Cedar Hill Park that she's like in her 50s, I guess, and I'm just guessing, and I hope it's maybe I actually hope she's in her 60s, and I'm saying 50s, but she, her boyfriend brought her, and he had a fishing rod and a chair, and he went and sat down. And he said, "You guys teach her. He knows." So it's like, wise man, let somebody else teach her.
Like learning to drive.
Yeah. You know what? I had to take that home that they're mad at you. So I get this kid from Gallatin to go work with her. And the first thing they do is, we've got the Zebcos, and I've got this game called Backyard Bass. You can find that online, folks, Backyard Bass. And it gives you these little plastic fish about that long with no hooks. Mm-hmm. Then it gives you bigger plastic fish with another piece of plastic kind of V in the top, where you just cast out in the grass or a gym floor in a school, and you try to target that. And if you reel it in the right way, you can catch it and draw it to you because it's got a little catch up there for the small fish.
Yeah.
But at the ponds, we're just, hey, go over here by the pond and learn to cast with that little dummy fish.
Yeah.
No hooks, no risk of hurting unless you slap your face with it really hard. Anyway, this woman got the rhythm of casting down. She was cackling. She was having so much fun just that she could cast properly.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit later, those 4 places I talked about, those are community fishing lakes for us. So we stock those. TWRA stocks those in the winter months and in the spring months. In the winter months with trout, in the spring months with catfish. So at this time of year, the catfish were prevalent. And a little bit later, once she got the rhythm of it, then we set her up with the hook and the bait and all that. And she caught one of those about 2-pound catfish.
Oh, neat.
You heard her all over that pond. She was ecstatic. And now she didn't hold the fish. She had my kid hold the fish. But I think before it was over with, she ended up getting her picture put on Fox 17.
Oh, neat.
Because somebody told the story, or she did, and they ran the picture. But that's the thing. We go out.
That's why we're there. Yeah.
We go out and we're teaching young and old. I mean, I've had 4-year-olds. There was one of those days at Cedar Hill, I had a man 70 years old come up and say, "Can you show me something I don't?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You're 70 years old and you've never fished?" I said, "Sir, I don't know if I need to teach you to fish or hire a lawyer for you to sue somebody. You've been robbed." But, we worked with him and we taught him. And that's the thing. Some people think when we do those programs, it's just for kids, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's for everybody.
All
We're
ages,
targeting families. Mm-hmm. We're targeting just general people, whether the family's 2 people, whether it's, if you're a single adult out there and you're bored to tears, we want everybody. But
times have changed, right?
Times have changed. Here's our glitch is, for the first year and a half of that, They would come like crazy. And then when things started to get back to normal, so to speak, and I don't know if we're back to, I don't know what normal is, but
Yeah.
but as they started to get back to normal and people could go do other things, those pop-in events, the numbers have drifted off terribly. And there's times we'll go do them and we're not having hardly anybody show up. And we want to serve the public. Well, in the midst of it all, too, we've also been having groups reach out to us.
Yeah.
So I've had church groups. I've had just civic-type groups. I've had homeschool groups. Hey, can you come and work with us? Absolutely. Because
Yeah.
I know I'm getting a target audience, and I know I've got people coming.
Yeah.
So again, we've done Nashville homeschool. The most recent one I did, and I think I gave you some stuff to put in this over in Polk County, a homeschool group we did over there a couple weeks ago. I've done outdoor Afro here in town in Nashville.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it sounds like. It is those folks are trying to work with that group of people to get them back outdoors.
Yeah.
Of course, I looked at her and I said, I didn't know you weren't outdoors anymore. You know,
Yeah.
but she was saying African Americans don't go outdoors as much as they used to. Like, okay, but we worked in that group. I've worked with them a couple times, and I've worked, like I said, with church groups. One of the bigger successes we've had, Amy out in West Tennessee, and our commissioner, Monty Ballou, got us plugged into UT Martin.
Yeah. College groups.
We
Yeah.
did an event at UT Martin during final exams, and it's the spring, and they're getting ready to go. We had so many of those guys and gals come out. We had to go to the store and buy more fishing poles. It was
More
insane.
bait, more poles.
And what was funny is some of the professors said, "Hey, go participate in this, and we'll get 5 extra points on your final or
Oh,
something."
wow. All right.
So the school bought into it hard, and I'm going. It's not next week. I think it's the week after. Amy and I've got another event set up there in the afternoon.
Talk about stress relief for finals, you know.
Yeah.
And in that particular day, you know, we'd stock some fish in there too. But that pond on campus has got bass, crappie, bluegill, catfish in it. But we'd put some catfish. They wore that. They had some contest stuff they did. So like the biggest stringer or the biggest fish.
Yeah.
Amy was giving out gift cards and stuff like that. Listen, they wore that stuff out. And of course, some of them are, you know, they had this big stringer full, and it's like, "Were you going to put them back?" He said, "No, I'm fixing to have a fish fry." Of course, you know, that's fine. That's
Yep.
you know, they're in that pond to eat. As long as you're following all the regulations, don't take things you're not, you know, too many of one thing.
Yeah.
But the working with groups has shown to be far more successful now, and I'm begging the public to reach out to us. Reach out to the Ask email, because that way it gets here. It doesn't need to come straight to me. It needs to come through the system. That way if somebody else, you know, I got sick or something and it was out for a month.
They know who to forward it to, don't
Right. Ask, you know, our Ask email.
Yeah, it's ask.twra@tn.gov.
And I know you put the graphic up.
Yeah.
That's the best email to use for us for everything, because then they forward it to where it belongs. It doesn't matter if personnel change or whatever. But reach out to us through that. If you have a group that would like to work with us in a team building event, whatever, you know, I can bring that trailer full of rods and reels. I'll go buy the bait, and I'll come to your event, and we'll work with you and learn how to fish.
Yeah.
I even did it. What was wild? Our IT group, like 2 months ago.
Oh, right, yeah.
They decided they were going to go out and
Little
do
team
stuff
building. Yeah.
and do a team building thing over at Couchville. And they're like, "Hey, Dave, some of our guys and gals don't know how to fish. Can you come?" I said, "Of course I can come do it for us. I can do it for everybody."
Yeah.
It's so yeah. I went to Couchville when they did their whole team building thing, and they fed me. You know, us skinny guys like to get fed. So it was a good day.
We heard good feedback about that too, about how much fun they had that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to think about. If you're a business, even if you want to have a team building day for your office, you
Yep.
know, call us. Come out and teach you guys how to fish, help you learn a little bit more about fishing, and show you what you need and how to get out there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter where we go. The Polk County thing I did a couple weeks ago, that was a private camp type facility, and they had their own private pond. So they got the permission. I think churches use that place that we went to a lot, and they got. I don't care. I'll go anywhere in the state. Doesn't matter. Now you got to give me a lot of notice.
It can't be just tomorrow.
and there are a few of my Saturdays, and I kind of say few facetiously, that get eat up with tournament bass fishing stuff. But I can come out on a Sunday. I can come any day during the week. Just got to plan it, a reasonable amount ahead of time. And I would love to work with more groups, because that way I know I'm actually reaching more people.
Sure.
And we want everybody and anybody to know how to fish. I even had it where one of the times in Chattanooga at Camp Jordan, this grandpa brought two of his kids, and they didn't do too well, and it wasn't the best time of year. I said, look, so why don't you bring them up to my house? I've got a 4-acre pond in my front yard, and it's got bass, crappie, bluegill, and catfish in it. And, you can usually go down there and catch a few fish of any kind without trying real hard.
Yeah.
And I invited this guy to my home, and he came with those two boys, and those two boys were still a little at the age where you couldn't keep their attention as much.
Yeah.
But they had a good time. And, I'm not above bringing them to the house.
Yeah.
Because I want them to catch fish, too. But then that's another key thing. One of the second time I worked with Outdoor Afro, they do this thing where they do a circle time right before and a circle time at the end. And everybody, you go around, you introduce yourself. Why are you there? What are you looking to get out of the day? And everybody did that. And, of course, when it became my time, I'm giving the instructor talk, so to speak. But I said, look, we're not necessarily here at the best time of year and the best time of day. I said, fishing may be slow. I said, but I don't want you to miss part of this. I want you to understand that it's not always about catching fish. I said, so while you're out there fishing, once we get to that part where you're out there fishing, if you're not getting a bite, don't forget to because a lot of you got chairs, don't forget to watch the ripple on the water. Look for the wildlife. Look for the leaves in the breeze. Watch the clouds. Listen to the sounds. I said, I promise you, it's the best stress reliever on the planet. Better than any drug, better than anything. I said, absorb the atmosphere, because it's not always about catching fish. And I can go to my pond and they'd be wearing me out, and I'm having a great time. And I can go to my pond and they're not biting that well. And in both those circumstances, there's nothing wrong at my house that I don't like my house. But I can be at that pond and not want to go up that hill back to the house.
Yeah.
Because you're just absorbing it all. Just breathing it in. And I think, we still don't get the message out well enough either. People need to get in the outdoors. It's a great, whether you're walking, hiking, camping, jogging, whatever it is, you want to, cycling, fishing. Get outdoors.
Yeah.
It will relieve some stress.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, sitting in the deer stand or sitting on the lakeside, it's awesome to be outside and just listen to what's going on around you and watch the critters run around. And
I've a lot of self-thought in meditation in a deer stand.
Yeah.
You just sit there and think a while and think about a lot of the good things in your life, and you can actually sit there and problem solve with yourself. But,
hope that deer walks by.
Deer stand's a different deal, and there is a lot of sitting and absorbing, waiting on to see those deer come by. But again, the only bad day fishing is the day you don't go.
Some of my best memories as a kid was when we'd go to the farm pond, not too far. It actually turned out to be the farm pond my dad fished in when he started fishing when he was 9-10 years old, and watching the muskrats go across the pond and just like you said, absorbing it all. It's just
I
cool.
grew up in my grandfather Foster's field. It had an 8-acre pond in the front that he had built back in the 60s. He fished it constantly. I got to fish with him a lot. I vividly remember the first decent sized bass I caught. It was a 2.5-pound bass on a purple plastic worm. Purple plastic water. We're talking, I'll be 56 in November, so a few years back. Tons and tons of fish caught. Then taking my son, and some of his first fish caught there. And then at 4.5 years old, he catches that 5-pound largemouth that ends up on the front of the county paper with a popar and a crappie, a Zebco and a crappie-sized rod that ruined him. He quit Little League Baseball over that fish.
Yeah,
it's like it's cutting into my fishing time, and he became obsessed with the idea of becoming Bill Dance or somebody and wanting to fish, and he spent his whole childhood fanatically fishing. We did tournaments upon tournaments upon tournaments all the way through high school and all that, and we're still tournament fishing together. We got to be on the water on Guntersville a couple of weeks ago.
It's a family deal, isn't it?
It is, and that's the thing. That's part of why we need this service that we're doing, and we need to be out there reaching out to people, is there's some people that weren't raised with that.
Yeah.
Their family didn't do that. They were in the metro area. They thought they didn't have any place to go.
Yeah.
There's ponds in the metro area.
Yeah. With our website, if you go to our website, tnwildlife.org, you click where to fish, and there's spots on lakes, there's spots on family fishing lakes, there's spots around these parks that you talked about today through the Go Fish Tennessee section, so those spots are out there.
There's no such thing as you can't go fishing.
Right.
Because, there's private ponds you can't go on without permission. But there's tons of public water in Tennessee.
Yep, there sure is.
And you don't have to go down beside the dam at the river and worry about the big flow. You can go to the little pond at Cedar Hill or Couchville Lake that's, a small lake next to Percy Priest, or any of these various places that you can find on a website.
Tons of public fishing piers that are ready-made for that.
To include a lot of handicap accessible piers.
Exactly. Yep.
Tennessee Bass Nation, our group, has been involved. Jake Davis, God bless Jake Davis and what he's done for conservation over the last 5 years, and got our guys involved where we're building habitats.
Yeah, they help out a lot with that.
Helping build the piers, all that. Right now, our project that's very tied into work is they're building habitats that are going to go get put in Carroll County Lake, because there's not enough structure in Carroll County Lake, and Carroll County Lake's just got on our Bill Dance trail.
Right.
So, there's a lot to do, but wow, are we gone through that fast?
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
And somebody doesn't shut up. So.
David, good for you for helping spread the word, and no telling, a group of 20 people comes out, no telling how many of their family members are going to be affected by what they learned at that get-together that you put on.
But the biggest thing I want today is get the groups to reach out to us.
Yeah.
If you have a group, please reach out to us. We want you to be able to learn how to fish. We want this good activity for you. And I'm accessible anywhere in the state of Tennessee. I'll just hook that trailer up and go wherever you need me to go.
Ask.twra@tn.gov is how you reach out to get David out to one of your group events. If you see the trailer, stop by and talk to him. Find out more directly from him that way. Remember, tnwildlife.org to find a place to fish. GoOutdoorsTennessee.com to buy a license. It's pretty inexpensive. Just a year-long license, 365 days is $34. You fish all year long.
Or you get a day license if you're still not sure.
Day license is $650. Yeah.
Right. But if you don't know anything, don't be afraid to come. That's the whole purpose of this program. You can have zero knowledge of fishing, and we're there to teach you.
Awesome. All right. Well, this is Tennessee Wildcast. David, thank you for being on. Don, thank you.
You bet.
And I believe that wraps it up. Find some joy in fishing. Get out there and do it.
All right.
We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee Wildcast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.